Okay, so of course it cut out, so I'm gonna have to stitch all this stuff together, and then I'll probably just do a voiceover on it if I can figure out how to do that. But this is what I have so far. This is what it's supposed to look like. Is that? So I'll see if I can get it so you can see both of those. No, probably not. Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. All right, so that's probably the best I can do right there, so you can see the whole painting. All right, so I'm gonna start painting my skin color, which is brown. So it's like this color. So I have to mix that. And I'm going to get a smaller brush. I think I need a small flat brush. Do I have a nice one? Oh, that one's funky. Let's see if we have one that's not all funky and yucky. Oh. Oh no, that one's got little hairs sticking out. Nope. Not you, bud. Sorry. Okay, we'll have to go with this. This is a little bit smaller. So I'm going to mix a little bit of yellow and a little burnt sienna, raw sienna, burnt sienna, burnt umber, sorry, and brown. That's very, very dark. Not that dark. I'm going to add some of this in. And it's still pretty dark, but it's getting there. So I'm going to grab some yellow and deep yellow together. That in, lighten it up just a little bit. And then I'm going to take all of that and scoot it to the edge where I can mix in all of this beautiful color. And then this color is going to be the color of the sweater with a lot of red in it. But right now I just need my skin tone for my hands and for my face. So I think that's pretty close. It's kind of dark. It's kind of dark. Maybe lighten it up just a tiny bit with a tiny bit of white. Super tiny. Oh no, that's not enough. That's not tiny enough. Okay, so let's try this. Yeah, I'll lighten that up just a little bit so I can get a fairly decent match. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good match, so I'm going to go ahead and paint this in. And again, just paint out. Yeah, I can see for darker people this could be an issue. I'm going to try to make it so I can still see the eyelashes and the nose. I'm just going to... I don't know what to do about this. Maybe we should do the face after this part dries. That's what I think we should do, is the face after this part dries, because this is very, if I have anybody who's colored like me, it's going to be really difficult to see what to do with this, and I don't want people to get lost because people are freaked out about doing faces anyhow. I mean, I'm not, because I do that, but yeah, I can see people getting freaked out about it. Definitely not going over the lips though. Already did, dang. Okay. Sometimes you're an idiot. Sometimes you're not. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes I'm a nut. Sometimes I'm not. Okay, and then, oh yeah, because we got to outline this anyways. So, I'm not super digging how this is coming out, but I can feel what my paint party people are going to be feeling with this. I really can. Because it's kind of frustrating when your color is all weird. And some of it covers and some of it doesn't. Yeah. And we got all these little things in there. Oh my gosh. see, y'all. We will see. Okay, I'm gonna do neck. This is basically a monochromatic, it's almost a monochromatic painting. Not quite, because, you know, it does have more than one color, but it's, I'd call it an analogous painting, because it's colors that are all really close to each other on the color wheel, except for the brown, which is a neutral. This is dry, so I can put my hand there if I need to. That's why I like acrylic paint. It just dries so quick. It's very wonderful. Okay, but I still want to do this. Yeah, I got no piece of paint somewhere I don't want it. So I'm just going to take my baby wipe. Take my baby wipe and get rid of that. Now let's try these fingers. And my fingernails are kind of a peachy color. Go figure. There you go. I probably should use the small round brush for this. So I'm going to put this in the water for now. I have a very tiny small round brush. I'm not going to try and do fingers with no big old fat brush. I'm just going to use a little skinny brush that I can flatten out a bit. Fingers are my weak point for painting and drawing. They're very difficult to do. You have to really practice to get these done correctly. Okay, I think I should just use this part for the tips of the fingers. Like this. And around where it's really small in there. And then, because this brush is so, it's kind of wobbly. It's not very stiff. So it just bends like a willow, even when I don't want it to bend. It's just bending around. It doesn't hold a lot of paint, so that's where I'm getting some issues going through. The small brushes that I have, these are some of the small brushes I have, but I have some that are not quite so long, which kind of contributes to that. I'm going to like edit out the fingernails a little bit. Okay, now I can take, I got paint falling on the floor. Fortunately, I have a cover on my floor to use for office chairs. Ooh, I can get this paintbrush. Oh, wonderful. Now I have paint all over my hand. Yay. Okay, let's see if I get a wipe. Alright. Okay, now I can try to, oh, that's really wet. Let's not have that. Okay, put this one here. And get some of this so I can come in and get the fingers. These fingers going. I think I'm going to need a really small flat brush because I think the flat brush will help me get those edges better. Yeah, I can see it helps with the edges. sure when I have some weird stuff going on here with the fingers. Fingers, they're just not my thing, man. They're not my thing. These are really weird. And people get really upset about fingers. They do. They're like, oh, the fingers look so strange. Yeah, hey, join the club of all the rest of the artists I know who struggle with that. You're in good company. Yeah. Okie dokie. There we go. Gotta kind of hold your breath a little bit to get that in there, just so. Oh, yay, almost done with this. I'm gonna have to go back over this more than one time with this color because it's pretty see-through. But I'm running out of it, so it's a good thing that I'm down to the last little part. And I don't recommend people doing this. Oh, okay. Ooh, that looks. The tracer is way different from the picture. Okay, because that finger is very round and it doesn't go across the whole thing. But yeah, the tracer is way different and kind of weird. So yeah, now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh man, really? Because I'd like to bend that baby finger a little bit. Okay, let's see if we can fix that just a little. Not a fan of this at all. This part. Fingers. Weirdness. Otherwise, she looks pretty cartoony, but her fingers, I don't know. I'd rather have had the cartoony fingers than the real ones. Okay, let me put some English on this. As they say in pool. A little English on it. There you go. And then this part, let's put a little English on this part too. Alright, that's probably as good as that's going to get for now. And I'm going to go back over the face because it's looking really streaky, which I don't like at all. So I have to mix up a tiny bit more paint for this part. And go back over so it's nice and smooth. And I think I'll have the ladies trace the dang, I don't want to bring that though. That's a pain. Trace the face. Maybe I'll just do the face and trace that so that they can just trace the face out. This is why I do these paintings first, so I know what people are going to be going through when they're doing this. Okay? What issues they're going to have. What are going to be their pain points, their frustrations, their fears. So I can address that so they can just have a good time. Not worry about all that. This is not about being afraid. It's about having a good time with your friends, doing something cool that you never thought you could do. Yeah, all that kind of stuff. Not about being scared. There's no crying in paint parties. Hopefully I have enough memory for this, because, Okay, now that I have that part done, I'm going to do the hair. And I'm going to mix a little brown into the hair for the black so my hair isn't just totally black. Just going to mix some brown in and do the hair with the same brush. So it's the dark brown and the black. And this black is very wonky. Somehow or another the bottle of paint got all squeezed out, so there's a big old divot in the bottom now. I don't know if you can tell if that's dark brown. I can't tell. Looks black to me. It is dark brown. My hair is black. It's not dark brown, but and then highlights on this are interesting because the highlights are going to be using white for dark hair, for brown, brunette, maybe even red hair, unless you have like a lot of red in your hair. And then if you have blonde hair, you're going to be using a darker highlight. Because when you have black hair, you know, you're not going to have any yellow highlights on there. Unless you got something weird going on with your hair. Or unless you got, like, color in your hair. Like, light color in your hair. I gotta add some water to this paint. It's just not flowing. When the paint doesn't flow, that means it's too dry. Add a bit more water to my paint in here so that I can make sure that it just flows off my brush, because this is getting on my nerves. It's getting on my nerves, y'all. Okay, here we go. Now, that's better. A nice clean edge. That's why I like these brushes, because you can get a nice clean edge. Oh my God, somebody's dog is back there barking. I don't know. He's not a happy camper, I guess. Oh, doggy. It's really hot here. It really is still hot. It's stupid hot. It's not supposed to be this hot this time of year, but it is. So everybody's kind of like not real happy with that. Oh snap! I see that the hair comes in front and then there's hair behind. So I'm gonna have to put in some brown highlights on here. But first I'm just gonna block it in. It's going to be another pain point area of, oh my God, what do I do? Okay. And then I'm going to change the color just a little bit in here and add some more brown to this. I'm going to add some of this reddish brown in here so that I have some little highlights in there. So I'm just going to put that here. Ooh. Might want to mix that in, girl. That here, so that when you see it up against the other paint, it will not be so dark. The other paint will be darker so you can see it. I kind of got my hair asymmetrical today. I do. last part right here. I don't know if you can tell the difference between that or not, but I will have to put some nice light highlights on here. This other is very dark back here. So we'll see if you can tell what's going on there. Not really. You kind of can. It might not be worth the effort to do all that. It may not. It may just be like, okay, let's just paint it in, and then later on can add in the highlights. I'm teaching my kids about this right now, highlights and shadows. They're doing a grasshopper with oil pastels. It's very cool painting. There we go. And then I might have to get the little tiny brush for this up part here. But I'm gonna finish up her hair back here because we got lots of stuff to do back here. Mix up some more of this black and brown. This is not really black, it's dark brown. Yeah, this paint's a tiny bit dried out. So, and being, I don't even have my spray bottle. Oh, I do have my spray bottle. But yeah, it's very dried out, and being in the desert doesn't help. That just makes it extra dry. And I understand why Heidi Easley of Paint Party Headquarters uses the craft paint because it's already fanned out, but I just don't like painting with it. It's so thin that it doesn't cover over stuff very well, and it's a lot of extra work to get to that part. And then, you know, I don't know that it's really cost effective. I mean, she gets a discount and all that good stuff, but, and I could get a similar discount, but, you know, when I buy my, maybe when I'm making a lot of paint parties, okay, it'll be more cost effective for me to do that. But right now, not really. Not so much. Jeez. I don't know. I'm just going to try and work with that. Edges in here. Again, more water. This paint is too dry. Alright, here we go. I should get a nice edge right there. Fairly nice, not terrible good. I'm having a hard time with this painting, man. Just not doing what I wanted to at all. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to flip this over so I can reach it and see it, because it's not doing what I needed to do. I'm trying to keep my big old head out the way. There we go. Sometimes you have to turn your artwork sideways to be able to get the brush stroke you're trying to get. Get a nice edge on there. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Mm-hmm. that brush up. Okay, see that's all clumpy. That's from that dried out black paint. It's like got little lumps in it. It's like gravy. You need to make it smooth. You don't want lumpy gravy. That's disgusting. Nobody wants to eat that. It might have a good taste, but the presentation is terrible. So yeah, no lumpy paint. We do not want lumpy paint. Lumpy paint is not our friend. Okay. Now, I think I can. Oh, you can see it. You can see that little highlight. Oh, okay. I don't know if y'all. Yeah, you can see it on there. I can see it. Cool. Very cool. The edge of that is okay if it's not, you know, it's all right if it's not going to be super. Okay, let me finish this edge here. Okay, and then this part right here is the headband. This is the reason I like this, because she wears headbands, and I sometimes wear headbands too, especially when I have my hair up or have my hair fluffed out in a twist out. So yeah, loving the headband. Okay, so I'm gonna get my tiny brush. Take some paint off of here and go in here with this darker paint. And then I can add some highlights to this. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Clean that out. Clean out this dark brown, this blackish brown. And I can add in some highlights with the brown. I'm going to use this color and some of this color to make a highlight. Skin almost, but not quite. So this is going to come up like this and then down, and up like this and then down. And I probably need to add some white to that. I think so. For the people that she does with the black people paintings, I think she adds some white to it. I don't know if I like that or not. We'll see. That's okay. Not too bad. Okay, and then add a little highlight along the edge here. Yep, some over here. So I just have a tiny bit of white mixed in with some of that brown that I have. And then I'm going to just start making little highlights, little swirls. There you go. Let's get some of that brown, some of the white. Brown and white. Yep. Mm-hmm. Put some brown on there. Yeah, let's make this with the brown, the light brown. Yeah, that looks better. Kind of digging it. Put some little highlights here on the edge. Yep, some here on this edge. Then add a little brown to this right in here. Make that Bob Ross sound. That's real good at doing that kind of stuff. Okay. And some here. And put a little bit of that brown and white right here on the edge. Okay. And some right here on this edge. There you go. It needs a little bit more white though. There you go. Yep. That kind of faded out, so let's put a little bit more of that in. Oh, dang, it's not. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. There's so much paint on here that it's just like kind of whiting out. Okay. I'm going to cover that over just a bit. So it's a little bit much. Yeah. Nice. Little brown highlights on there. Yeah. Cool. Alrighty then. Add a little bit more brown to the hands. A little bit more of that skin color to the hands. They're looking a little weird. So that's a nice solid color. I'm kind of disappointed that this doesn't have the little cartoony hands. I mean, it's okay, but I kind of like the cartoony hands. But the tracer doesn't have that. At least not this tracer. Maybe one of the other tracers has it. Just keep that hand nice. Okay. See if I can get this finger going. And see if I can get the tip of that finger. Yep. And then anything that I don't, oh dang, got some dark color there on my brush that didn't get mixed in well. Okay, let me get this finger. This finger's a little thicker. Not that thick. So anything that I don't really like, I'm going to try to with the white. So it's going to require a tiny brush. Okay, 35 minutes. We're not doing bad. We're getting close to the end here. I'm going to save my black for later, and then I'm going to mix in some red in this brown, and maybe a little. That's a lot of. I think it needs a darker brown. I'm going to add a tiny bit of black to that, just to darken that up some. Yep, there you go. That's a nice color. I think that's a good color right there. Still has that red in there. And then this is going to be, yes, I want it to be kind of maroony. Oh, yeah, this whole thing is, oh, dang it, there's like skin there. Oh, man, I missed that. See, I'm trying not to cuss. So that's annoying. It's very annoying. And then, of course, this red is, obviously, it's transparent. Yay. It's going to take a minute. I'm going to have to do more than one coat. Yeah, you see how it's doing. More than one coat of this red, because it's got the red in it. Now, that's one thing about the craft paint. If they give you like a kind of a, I don't want to say chalky red, but it's kind of chalky, it's not as see-through as this paint. This is student grade paint, but I paint with it all the time. One, because it's cheaper. Two, it's easier to fix mistakes. There you go. So, see some actual just red, plain red in here. But I can see through it. Put it down here where my hand is. And we'll add some black to this. Okay, I gotta turn this sideways. Ooh, big old chunk. Ooh, big old chunk of red. Ooh. Oh, like that at all. Okay, now, let's see. There you go. And I'll just paint the bottom. I'll get the rest of that. Oh man, I probably didn't want this on my white paper. Shoot. You're messing up, girl. Just messing up. Let me take that off of there. That over here. Yeah. Okay, now I can paint this part. Because I'm only going to paint so much of this. I'm only going to mix so much of this paint for her shirt. Half so much. Okay, now I get the other side, the other shoulder, and then I'm gonna have to figure out. Dang, that's too much. I have to figure out how to get that skin color back in before all my paint dries. I usually have a little spray bottle. I just don't feel like messing with it right now. I still have it. It's right behind me. Just don't want to mess with it. And then her scarf. It's going to have some just regular browns, which I have to get some more brown. So I don't have enough. Okay, so let me do her skin tone real quick. Probably should empty my water. It's polluting everything. What's going on here? It's not. What? Oh man, really? What's going on? It's the bottom. There it goes. Jeez. I have a cute little container for water where I can clean my brushes off. It's rough on the bottom. I'll show you at the end maybe. And it was stuck some kind of way. Weird. Just weird. Okay, so let me get some of this brown and paint in her skin. I have to do this a couple of times. Dang, I'm almost out of skin tone. I do not want to try and mix that up again. I do not. I better spray it. Get my little spray bottle, which is way behind me. This is very cool. Just puts a little mist of paint. Keep things moist. Okay, and then, oh, her lips are the same color as her jacket. That's okay with me. I'm gonna mix a little of that color and put it on her lips. Oh, this is the see-through stuff. Oh, dang it. I just really hate this see-through stuff. Oh my God. I do not like it. Okay, me and this little teeny tiny brush, we are not going to be friends. I need a different teeny tiny brush. One that they're going to have access to. I don't know if this is one they'll have access to, but I'm going to try and use it because it's just, that other brush, it just bends in the wrong place every time. To look and see how she's doing these people who are dark skinned like me. Because the blonde girl, that I can see everything I need to do for her, but for myself, you know, it's a little harder. For brown girls like me, it's a little harder. See that I need to maybe, no, I'm not doing it. Thinking out loud. Okay, that's not terrible bad, but it's got a little bit of weirdness there. So, give her a pointy mouth. Yeah, like that. Needs a point on the end. Okay, so as we use this on the sleeve. Well, she's got a lot of details on this, really. A lot of little details. Okay, my skin color's about dry, so I'm going to add some more of that. Here, second coat. This is very dark. Okay, let's see what happens when I add more of this color. I'm going to get some more red. Go from the middle of the red so it's not so chunky. Don't want the chunkiness. And a little bit of the black. Quite as it's kept, black is kind of can be transparent too. You mix it with other colors, it can come off as transparent. Oh, better. Ooh, I don't know what I mixed with that, but that came out nice. I think a little bit of white got in it or something. Or maybe it's just the second coat of this paint. I think it's the second coat. It's better, but I did remix this, so that's something to keep in mind. when I'm teaching this. I definitely need to do a voiceover for this. This is just foolishness. Ooh, that's nice. I like how that covered right there. Okay, keep it going. And then I think her headband is the same color, so I'm going to go ahead and paint that too. After I get this shoulder done. Yeah, I think it's just the second coat. It just needed 2 coats. Because that red is transparent, translucent, see-through. And the brown is a little see-through. So, yeah. There you go. We'll do the sweater last. Okay, but I'm going to do the headband now. Oh, dang, glasses. Either my glasses are off or my head is too big. And that's going to be a really light color, so I don't want to get too much of this on there. I definitely don't want to get it on my hair. Okay, let's see if we can get this moving around in the right direction here. There you go. I like how this is coming out though. I really do. And once it's all nice and dry, I'll put the face back in with the black. But for now, let's get all the colors in. Some paint on this edge. There you go. Now I can smooth that out a little bit. Let's see how we're still going, 48 minutes, all righty. And then all this is dry, so I can put this on here. Okay, let's do a little bit more here on the sleeve. And we can add in some highlights and stuff. When we get everything painted in, we'll start adding in all our little details. Okay, and also I'll paint the sides because I hate it when the sides are not painted. Alright, so now I think I want to paint the scarf, which is a light tan color. So I'm going to mix up some yellow and some of this brown, this burnt sienna. I need a bit of this. I'm going to use a whole lot of white on this. So just grab a whole lot of white. Make a nice tan. This is also how someone who's this color would basically paint themselves. Just about like this. That's a really pretty color. Yep. Let's go cover up all my lines. Not all of them. I'll still see them.
lot of skin color, so I don't want to be messing around trying to mix that up again. And I thought I was done. See how it just goes right over that. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, no, this is all scarf. Okay, cool. All this is scarf. And it's okay because I can see some of those colors in there. And I also can see now that I didn't put no color down here. Oh, well. We'll get to that part at the end. Not trying to worry about it now. I can still see all of my marks. So that's cool. I can see through this. It looks really good. It does. It looks good on camera. Looks good in person. Love it when I paint. Make it look like I want it to. I really love that whole concept. So put this back here. Here's my brush. Dang. My glasses are pinching my head right now. It's very uncomfortable. I want that part to be rounded over. And then this is part of the skin meets top of the shirt. Okay, sideways. That way you can get to that part better. Yes, we'll be doing some sideways painting. Yep. We will be doing some of that. So that we can get to be done with this part. I feel like I have a crook in my neck now. Turn this upside down and tilt this so I can kind of see what's going on here. What the heck is that black? Oh man. No, why is that even in there at all? It's not even a thing. Alright. Now, that is looking fabulous. Just fabulous. I like the color of that leaf. That's almost the color it is. Alright, let's see. Now, I think the last part, while I have some of this color, let's see, what did I do? I mixed this color with the yellow and dark brown. I don't want to use that brown. Let's see if there's some brown over here. Mix these colors together. And then a whole lot of white to make the tan. I don't know if this is the right, not quite the right I'm not mixing it right. Oh, dang it. Oh, now it's all gray. Ew. Ew. No. Had black in it. I need some brown. Okay, let me squeeze that a little bit more brown, because that's just what I need right there. Some here, put some there. So I have it. Okay, let's try this again. Some yellow, some brown, and some this color. This color. Mix that with the white. Okay, so I'm just going to mix a whole lot of white with a little bit of this color. Hopefully I can get back to that same nice color that I had. Nice tan. Let's get some of this. Warm it up. It's not mixing the same. Oh no, what's happening? It's not warm enough. So I take some of the yellow, mix that in. Might have to mix a little red in there. We'll try this instead of the red. Okay, better. That's better. We're getting there. We're getting close to being there. And then I can add more white to that. That's why we mix it once and mix a lot, so that you don't have to keep doing this over and over again. So this I'm going to make part of the cup. So it's going to be a little bit here and a little bit down here. And then I'm going to clean this brush really good. I am sure I have some little tiny flat brushes. Now I'm just going to take some white and just come in here. Paint this dang cup. Okay, more white. Here. The top. Oh, that's the color I need to use for my fingernails. You know, this one doesn't have fingernails to paint. Well, I guess if somebody wears fingernail polish, that'd be really good for them. But yeah, it doesn't have any fingernails to paint. None. Not to even worry about that. Because now's when I should have painted this first. Switch to a tiny brush, a small brush. Take the brush I used over here so I can see what I'm doing, because that ain't no good guide. Okay, so, oh, this doesn't paint that well like that, huh? Okay. To this so that it flows off my brush. I'm mixing a tiny amount of really, really light color. Really light. So that I can get it in between these fingers. Just too small. Olicious. And shouldn't I see the bottom of this cup? I'm going to make the bottom of this cup, okay? It should come right here and then come over. And that's what I'm going to paint in there. And then I can actually make the finger bend a little. I don't know, somebody's like giving me notifications or something.